Witches have always fascinated and terrified us, but where did it all begin? Let's travel back to ancient civilizations to uncover the roots of witchcraft and magic. In this video, we will explore the beliefs and practices of witches in Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome. We will see how magic was intertwined with religion and medicine, shaping the early perceptions of witches. Have you ever wondered how these ancient civilizations viewed witches? Welcome to Salazar's Timeless Treasures. Imagine a world where magic is real, where powerful sorceresses weave spells and enchantments. This journey through the history of witches begins in ancient times. Who were the first witches, and what role did they play in their societies? Join us as we unravel the origins of witchcraft, stretching back thousands of years. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with our mystical explorations. In the ancient world, magic was a part of everyday life. The Mesopotamians, for example, believed in powerful deities and spirits. They practiced various forms of magic to appease these supernatural forces, protect themselves from harm, and cure illnesses. Similarly, the ancient Egyptians were known for their elaborate rituals and spells. Magic was an integral part of their religious practices, used for healing, protection, and even in the afterlife. Have you ever wondered how these ancient civilizations viewed witches? Were they revered or feared? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Moving to Greece, we encounter one of the most famous witches of all time, Circe. According to mythology, Circe was a powerful sorceress who could transform men into animals. She played a significant role in Homer's Odyssey, showcasing the Greeks' fascination with magical powers and their potential dangers. The Romans, too, had their fair share of magical practices. They believed in the power of curses and spells, and even had laws against harmful magic. Despite the legal restrictions, magic remained a popular aspect of Roman culture, often blending with their religious rituals. As we move forward in time, the perception of witches began to shift. The Bible contains several references to witchcraft, one of the most notable being the story of the Witch of Endor. In the Old Testament, 1 Samuel 28, King Saul seeks the help of this witch to summon the spirit of the prophet Samuel. This story reflects the early Christian views on witches and the supernatural. How do you think these ancient stories influenced later beliefs about witches? Drop your theories in the comments. During the Middle Ages and early modern period, fear of witches and witchcraft grew. With the spread of Christianity, witches were increasingly seen as agents of the devil. This period saw the publication of the infamous Malleus Maleficarum, Hammer of Witches, in 1487, a book that fueled the persecution of alleged witches. The most intense period of witch hunts occurred between the 15th and 18th centuries in Europe and the American colonies. Thousands of people, mostly women, were accused of witchcraft and executed. The Salem witch trials in colonial Massachusetts, 1692-1693, are one of the most famous examples of this hysteria. Imagine living in a time when an accusation of witchcraft could lead to your death. What do you think caused such widespread fear? Let's discuss in the comments. In the 20th and 21st centuries, interest in witchcraft has persisted, but perceptions have shifted. The rise of the Wicca movement in the mid-20th century redefined witchcraft as a modern pagan, nature-based religion. Today, witches and witchcraft are often explored in popular culture, literature, and academic study. In the mid-20th century, as the world was recovering from the ravages of war and societal upheaval, a quiet yet profound transformation began to take root. This transformation was the rise of the Wicca movement, which would go on to redefine witchcraft as a modern pagan, nature-based religion. The journey began with a man named Gerald Gardner, whose fascination with the mystical and the ancient would lead to the birth of a spiritual revolution. Gerald Gardner was an English civil servant and amateur anthropologist, a man with an insatiable curiosity for the esoteric. In the 1940s and 1950s, Gardner began to share his discoveries and beliefs with the world through a series of books. His works, including Witchcraft Today, 1954, and The Meaning of Witchcraft, 1959, laid the foundation for what would become modern Wicca. Gardner claimed that Wicca was a survival of ancient, pre-Christian pagan religions. Though this assertion remains a topic of scholarly debate, Gardner's vision of Wicca was shaped by a tapestry of influences. Western esotericism, ceremonial magic, folk magic, and even Eastern philosophies all played a part in the formation of Wiccan beliefs and practices. He wove these diverse elements into a cohesive system that resonated with many who were seeking a spiritual path that honored both the mystical and the natural world. At the heart of Wicca lies a deep reverence for nature. Wiccans see the divine in all living things and believe that the cycles of the moon and the changing seasons hold profound spiritual significance. This connection to nature is celebrated through rituals known as esbats, which honor the phases of the moon, and sabbats, which mark the turning points of the seasonal year. These rituals serve as a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life and the sacred rhythms of the earth. Wicca is typically polytheistic, worshiping both a god and a goddess who embody the male and female aspects of the divine. These deities are seen as manifestations of various natural forces and archetypes, reflecting the balance and duality inherent in the universe. Wiccans believe in the power of magic, which they view as a natural force that can be harnessed through rituals, spells, and meditation. Magic is often used for healing, protection, and personal growth, always guided by the ethical principle of the Wiccan rage, and it harm none, do what ye will. This simple yet profound guideline emphasizes personal responsibility and the importance of not causing harm to others. The seeds planted by Gardner began to grow and spread, aided by the publication of his books and the efforts of other writers and practitioners who followed in his footsteps. In the 1960s and 1970s, the countercultural movement and a growing interest in alternative spirituality created fertile ground for Wicca to flourish. People disillusioned with mainstream religions and societal norms found solace and inspiration in Wicca's embrace of nature, magic, and the divine feminine. Wicca's growth was marked by both communal and solitary practices. Covens, or groups of Wiccans who gather to perform rituals and celebrate together, became an important aspect of the movement. However, Wicca also welcomed solitary practitioners who preferred to walk their spiritual path alone. This flexibility and accessibility contributed to Wicca's widespread appeal, allowing individuals to tailor their practice to their own needs and circumstances. As Wicca grew, it diversified into various traditions and branches, each with its own specific beliefs and practices. Gardnerian Wicca, named after Gerald Gardner, became one of the most well-known traditions, alongside Alexandrian Wicca founded by Alexander's, and Dianic Wicca, which focuses on the worship of the goddess and feminist spirituality. The rise of Wicca had a profound impact on modern perceptions of witchcraft. For centuries, witches had been vilified and persecuted, their practices shrouded in fear and misunderstanding. Wicca helped reclaim the term witch from its negative connotations, with many Wiccans proudly identifying as witches. For them, the term became a symbol of empowerment, a connection to nature, and a reclaiming of ancient wisdom. Wicca also influenced popular culture, contributing to a more positive and nuanced portrayal of witches in media, literature, and art. The stereotypical image of the Wicked Witch began to give way to depictions of wise, nature-loving individuals who sought harmony and balance. This cultural shift helped to foster greater acceptance and understanding of Wicca and other pagan traditions. Moreover, Wicca played a role in the broader pagan and interfaith communities, promoting religious tolerance and diversity. Wiccans often engaged in interfaith dialogue, advocating for the recognition and respect of their beliefs and practices. This engagement helped to build bridges between different spiritual paths and contributed to a more inclusive and accepting society. The rise of the Wicca movement redefined witchcraft for many, transforming it from a feared and persecuted practice into a recognized and respected modern religion. By emphasizing harmony with nature, personal responsibility, and spiritual growth, Wicca attracted a diverse and dedicated following around the world. Today, Wiccans continue to celebrate their connection to the earth and the divine, keeping the ancient spirit of witchcraft alive in the modern age. The history of witches is long and complex, filled with fascinating stories and cultural shifts. From ancient civilizations to modern interpretations, witches have always been a part of our collective imagination. If you enjoyed this journey through the ancient beginnings of witchcraft, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Salazar's Timeless Treasures. Leave a comment with your thoughts and questions, and let us know what aspect of witchcraft you would like to explore next. Stay tuned for the next video in our series, where we'll delve into the dark times of the witch hunts and trials. Until then, keep the magic alive.